Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Now, if you know me, you've seen some of the stuff I've done, you'll know I like to make databases, I like to make my own teams to play with. I've made several teams, quite a lot of teams. I've had to make my own logos and kits and stuff. And I've been asked a few times, how do you do that? Now, I am not like an artist, I'm not professional, I'm not actually any good at it. There's people in this community, the football manager community, people like Dave Azzopardi, what's the other guy called? FM18, people like that. There's a lot of them, Wolfie, who are good with Photoshop, who could make detailed kits exactly how they want them, with fancy thumbnails and fancy logos. Yeah, I can't do that, and I think 99% of us can't do that. But sometimes you still want to put your own touch on something. You want to do something yourself, and you haven't got the skills, or you haven't got the technology to do it. No, I've got the technology. I just haven't got the skills. So what I'm going to do today in this episode is I'm going to show you how to make, or how I'd make a basic logo, or at least where to get the stuff from, and the video links to help you do that. I'm going to show you also how to make how I make my kits dead easy. So we're just going to put a simple logo together and a kit with a badge and a sponsor. And we're going to start here at sortitoutside.com, my favourite website for anything football manager. It's a thing I use for everything, mainly graphics, and you get all your logo packs. I've got my name fixes, all that stuff. You can get skins from here. It's brilliant. You have to pay a small fee for a yearly subscription, but it's worth it because it's just so much better than all the rest of them. And that's just my opinion, right? In another video, I think it was either my Create a Club video, I basically said I got my kit packs from Sorted Outside. Now I do get my kit packs that have been made up, but I don't get my blank kits from here. I made a mistake there, but like if you look on here, we'll just click kit packs. Straight away you come into this screen, you've got all different kinds of kits. I usually just go for the standard here. Click on here and look, you've got League Nations from games going back. And the good thing is with these, it doesn't matter if the kit's designed from 3 years ago. Sometimes you just want real kits in the game, and I've done that for videos, and no one's made them yet for 2018. And I've had to go back 2 years to get the kit, which, you know, it isn't super realistic, but it's better than that bog standard fake kit that you get on the game. I can't stand playing this game with a club that has a generic logo and that generic kit with one of them stupid badges that Football Manager makes for you. This is another Football Manager website called FM18, and on FM18 you can get a kit template pack, which ranges it comes in 4 pieces and it goes from A to Z, and it has every brand ever. Now what you need to do is, obviously you can go on the website and look through the website. It is pretty much easier just to Google FM18 kit template pack and you'll come to this page, and it's brilliant. Don't ignore the dates because it's just kits, and look, you get all these different parts. I think there's different ones down here, and that's all I've done. Downloaded all these different kit templates, and when you do, this is what you get. Here we are on my file. Now someone made a comment a while back, am I using Windows 95? It does look pretty basic, I know, but I'm on a laptop, and if you turn your graphics off, your laptop works 10 times better. So that little tip for you, if you're on your laptop, you can't really get a PC. Now, I can get a PC, my wife won't let me have one, a different story. But turn your graphics down, computer works well better. Anyway, see what I mean? Here's my packs I downloaded earlier. So if you click on the first one, look, as an example, look at all them brands. I mean, who's ever heard of half of these brands? And that's just the first one. So let's just go for something we all know. There we go, Adidas. Now when it comes to Adidas, Nike, Puma, the big ones, you get a selection. Now I have never ever struggled to find kits I need. I might have to switch brand, I might have to look in the Nike folder, but there's always 2 kits that will match something you need. And I mean, look, we'll just try and go through it. Watch this, look. So once you've got this downloaded, brilliant, isn't it? You can just copy, never drag one out, keep it in its folder, but just right click it, say this one for example, copy, go to your desktop, paste it, and then obviously you're picking away kit, but there we go, that's kit number 1. Now here we are in Photoshop. I'm lucky enough to have it. It's probably the best tool. I think most of us use it. Now it does cost money though, that's the trouble, and if you can't buy the software, there are other things you can get, and this is one thing I think most of us would recommend, especially when you ain't got no money, and it's called GIMP. So type in GIMP or type in GIMP 2, or I think you can type in GIMP 2018, but you're looking for this, that little logo. I don't know if it's a raccoon, but that's what you're looking for. It's free, right? And it's pretty much Photoshop basically. Now I'm not gonna download it because I don't need it, but get it, it's brilliant. And if you've never used something like this before, like I never used Photoshop, you'll be like, wow, what the hell? Where do I start? But the beautiful thing that we have today is the thing you're watching me on right now, and that is YouTube. Seriously, there's a tutorial for everything, so just look for it. Download GIMP, and if you don't know what you're doing, look for a tutorial. So back to Photoshop or GIMP, whatever you've got. Now going up to File, we're going to open, and there's my kit. Click on it. Lovely. Look at that kit. I just picked it by random. I've not got a colour preference, but there we are with the kit. Now I don't want to put that in the game like that, do we? We need sponsors. We need a logo. So that's what we're going to do next, but the easy boot way. Now here we are in another Photoshop file. It's a finished file, it's not a working one. And this is a logo that I made for one of my personal saves. If you've downloaded some of my databases, you've probably come across Denton Villa. It's just a bit of fun I had on my own at night time. And it's dead simple. It's the easiest thing I've ever done. And this is, if I can do this, you can do this. I found a great tutorial, which will be down below, of a really nice fella who talks you through how to do the same thing, but also how to like curve the letter and stuff. Really great tutorial. One thing you can do, I mean, you can create your own circles and your own shapes, or Google stuff like let's try blank football logo. Look at that straight away. Go to images. Now I've done this before, and look at all them bad boys. I mean, look at these. You got a few here you could use. That's a good one. Let's have a look at this one. Hey, now, whenever you download anything off Google, sometimes if you type in transparent, it'll be transparent already for you. And what that means is if you ever look at a picture like this, you can see that's a white solid. It's got its black outline. And if you look on the space around it, if it's got that little checkered square pattern, that means there's nothing there. That's called transparent. And you don't have to do it yourself. It is pretty easy, this tutorial online. But if you can already get something like that transparent, let's do it. Save picture to my desktop. So what I'm going to use is this pre-made football shield. Now, like I said, that other tutorial, it'll show you how to make your circle if you want a circle logo. But if you're lazy, honestly, like, do what I did. You can find blank shields like this, and it's that easy. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put a name on it, dead easy. Nothing fancy, just to show you basically what you can do, and then you can practice and build upon that. Now I've just gone to Google and searched transparent soccer ball. A lot of times you say football, you get an American football, and here it is. Just grab it, you can drag it, done there. I think that's a decent size. I'm going to keep it, there we go. Now obviously this ain't the fanciest badge in the world. I'm just going to show you the basics of how you can get a logo, get other things, drag and drop, and do it like that, dead easy. Now if I go to text and click up here, you'll see I've got all these texts. Now if you've got Photoshop, I can help you out here. If you haven't, GIMP, I think you might just have to use your standard GIMP. I don't know if you can get extra texts on it. I don't know about that. That's something you have to find out for yourself. But when it comes to Photoshop, I know a great website. And that website is called dafont.com. It is brilliant. I mean, look at all these genres you've got. You've got comic ones. I mean, if you want comic, it's brilliant. Look, you get all these different kinds of them. And you just download it. And when it downloads onto your desktop, you can click install and it just installs it like that. And once you've done that, it's in your Photoshop menu. So again, we're back here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the font DK Carambola. It's a font from like the 1920s. I've been using it all through my Manchester Central service. Check it out. Links down below. So basically, I've clicked on text. We've got it up here. I've clicked on the black colour as well. Click on here, and we're just going to call it Bood. How good's that? What football team would not want to be called Bood? That's me, by the way. There we go, look at that. Bood. Apply it. Lovely. Now if I go down here, right click it, duplicate it, just duplicate, yep. I've got my arrows selected. I've got 2 Boods. And it's just an easy way of keeping everything the same size in my opinion. Go back to text, click on near that D, go back, click FC. There we go. Now, I want to centralize that a bit. And there we go, Bood FC logo. That's simple. So what we're going to have to do now is, this is what I always do, and I have a separate file for both things. You go to File and Save As, right? This will save your file in this form, so you can reopen it and go and edit it and change things, right? So if you go to Save As, save to desktop, and we'll call it the Bood FC logo, right? Click that bad boy. Okay, man. Okay, there we go. Now on my desktop, down here, you'll see it as a PSD file. So I can open that up and I can change the lettering, change the text, add more things to it, maybe like the year or whatever. But that's that. So always do that. But if you want to use it properly, especially on Photoshop, I think it's similar on GIMP. Again, you might have to use a tutorial. It's save for web. And that's it. Go to save. Click on desktop again. Bood FC logo, it's already got that on. Click it, and now when I bring up my desktop, there it is. Look at that. But obviously, look, watch. If I drag that in here as another file, it's a whole solid file. I can't break it down. I can't change it. I can add to it, but I can't change anything that's on it. But I can now use that. I can now change its size, and I can put it in the game. Now, for Football Manager, what you need to do is you need 2 logos for Football Manager. I might have mentioned this last time. If I go to image size, it needs to be, right, for your large logo, so when you're on your club screen and so on, it needs to be 180 by 180, right? And then for your smaller logo, it needs to be 25 width by 18 height. And this is what I always do. If I go to new, I remember before when I got my big background the size of a YouTube thumbnail with a clear background, what I do is I start a new one and I go 180 by 180. That is a 180 by 180 perfect shape, right? Bring up my thingy, grab my logo, which is obviously a lot bigger, but when you drag it, it'll fit into that box perfectly. There you go, you don't have to go to the edges, it's the same size. And if I save that like that, go on the arrow first, apply, yes, place, honestly, sometimes. Save it like that. I'm just going to call this Bood Big logo. Watch. Now they look the same, but obviously they're not. The Bood Big logo is 180 by 180. And you just do the same process for your little logo. This time I want 25 by 18. And look at that, it's a tiny little square, I know. But this is when you're looking at your league table and you see all the tiny logos. That's what this is. So if we zoom in, you'll see there's not many pixels. Very little pixel. Come back to this. Don't use your Bood Big. Use your normal one. Drag it over. Now I know it looks crap. I know that. But that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So now back to the kit and how to apply the logo. And it's really easy. Right? So obviously bring up your desktop. There it is. I'm going to use a smaller one actually because it'll probably be easier. No, it's the same. Right, drag it down. Just pick what size you think the logo should look like on your shirt. Grab it. I'm just using the mouse and the grab. Left click, look. line it up, that's probably right, maybe a bit longer. Press enter to apply it. Look at that. I think that's sound. So there you go, it's that easy. Right, time for a sponsor, and I'll be honest, I can't really think of anything. My brain's in the gutter. So I'm going to use a really respectable website's logo. You just type in whatever you want, and then type logo and it'll come up with it. Click on images, and here we go. Look at all them. Loads of them. Now if we click on this, you'll see, look at that. Now, that's not got a clear background, so it's totally up to you. I'm going to show you how to remove the background or trim it, but we're going to go with this one because it's white, so it should show up nice on that black kit. Whereas if I had a white kit, I might use that one. Do you know what I mean? You can vary, change it up a bit if you want. So right click this, save it to my desktop, and let's get a cracking. So we're back here. Don't want to use that kit just yet. I'm going to grab the logo down here and start a new thing. Now you can see that's your crop tool. You'll see these little markers come up. You could probably resize it like that maybe. That looks alright, and use it as a block, which I might do. Also, right, what you need to do is, if you've got Photoshop, I'm not sure with GIMP, you'd have to Google it. Go onto your logo down here where it says background, right click it, convert to smart object, right click it, rasterize. You'll see this little icon up here, quick selection tool, click that. You've got the plus and the minus, click the plus, and then just drag it in the space. See it? Look at it. Now you'll see it's got these like little ants crawling around it, all around all the letters. You see what I mean? And it hasn't got it in the middle. So if I click in the middle there, oh look, ants. Click in the middle, oh, ants. Now that means everything around the black and around that logo, when I press delete, boom! That's it. Now that is a simple one to do, don't get me wrong, and when you see people cut out, I use them quite a lot. That's a bit more difficult because you've got a picture in the background normally, like a crown and grass. So you have to zoom in and really go slowly around the edge that you want. But that's it. So if I save that now, it'd just be the lettering. But if I go to edit and step back, we'll keep it like that. Here we are, back with that kit. And if I go down here, you'll see my new lovely Pornhub logo. And all I'm going to do is resize it. That's honestly as easy as it gets. You're not learning anything graphically amazing here today. It's just for people like me who don't know what they're doing. But there you go. That's just a quick, simple, way of doing it. To get some kits that are already made, get a little logo, chuck it on. Sponsor, and we've got a home kit. You just have to go to File. You can either save that as a file if you want to mess with it later. We're not going to do that just now. Save to web. Boot home. And there we go, that's that kit saved, and then you can just repeat the process with an away kit, change that logo up, you know what I mean? If you could have a white kit maybe, get rid of that edging, just have the writing and the orange square, It is really easy. Now I did show this sort of in my other video when I was creating a club. Let's just go through it again, just quickly. This is how to put them in the game, right? So we've got a Sports Interactive, Football Manager, and these are all your files. Got your graphics file. If you don't have a graphics file, all you have to do, right click, new, folder, name it graphics, and the game will pick it up. You go into graphics, you'll see these are all my graphics on my faces, my kits. Shiny Mega Pack has got all my competitions in it, got trophies, and then clubs as well. Now these are things I've downloaded from sortedoutside.com, and when you open it, there you go, look at that. Now these are the normal size logos. These are the ones you see on each club page, and they're all, if you look at them, if I click on one, you might not be able to see it because of my head, but they're all 180 by 180. And if you just keep it that way, you're sorted. Now if we go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see, look at all these ones I've made. That's from my NFL series. Do you know what I mean? Now all you need to do is find this file. You'll see it's your config file. I think you can use Notepad, you can use different software. The software I've got is this software, so you might not have it, but don't worry about that. You can use Notepad. Whatever you've got to open it with, open it. So if we open it, and there we go. Now, I'm not going to go into the editor and all that, but basically, you should know that whenever you create anything in the editor, if you create a brand new club, it gets given a specific ID code, which is this code here. that belongs to a specific club, right? If you create a new one, you get the ID. If I open the editor for the first time and create a club, and you open the editor for the first time and create a club, we both get that same code, and it just gives us all the same codes. The more clubs you create, the more codes you get. Everything in the game has a code: stadiums, players, competition logos. It's how the game picks up that graphic and adds it to the game. Now, I'm not a programmer. I have no idea how to do all this, but it's that simple. Basically, if you've got an existing club in the game, you need to just go to the game, go to preferences, hit the little icon that says show IDs, reload your skin, and everything in the game then, players, clubs, will have the little ID number next to it, which is this number. Some are small, some are long. Write that number down, either from your existing club or your new club, right? And then you come into this file, click anywhere, let's just say there, press return, you've created a space. Click there, go along it, right? Right click it, copy. Click it back in that space, right click, paste. Now look, it's just copied that line. See what I mean? All you now have to do is replace the new line's number with your created club's ID or your existing club's ID, right? And then once you've done that, you go to save. I'm not going to save it, but that's what you need to do. Right, here we are with my beautiful desktop. It's great. And I've got the logo selected here, the 180 by 180 logo. So whatever your created club's ID was, write it down in a pad. It's easy, because sometimes the number's like 22 million. So whatever your created club's ID is, or the team's ID that you want to change the logo of, you need the ID. You've just gone into the config file like I've shown you, you've created your line, you've changed your new line's numbers to the same number as your new team. You need to come out here and do the big one first, right click, rename it whatever the number was. So say if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? That was the number that you've just put into that config file. All you need to do then is open that file back up where you saw all them logos, get that, drag it, drop it in there. And that config file now with that code is matched up to that logo with that code, and there you go. Whatever club it was will now use that logo. All you then do is you go back into it, go to the small one, I'll show you now. So there we've done the normal, go into the small and you'll see it's the same thing, but all the tiny little weeny logos go right down to the bottom where you'll usually find your config file. Again, you just open that up, here it is, and again you just do the same process. You create a line, you cut and copy, paste it, you drag it in, you change that number, and obviously that number, make sure you do both for both. Save it. Now we're back on the graphics file in my Sports Interactives folder, and if we go to kits, these are all the kits I've added into the game. There's loads more I want to do, but I normally do them all. I've just not got around to it, but that's enough. These are all kits that are in the game usually. Now, all you need is one of these. If you've created a club in England, you don't need to use an English pack. If you've created a club in Cambodia, you don't need a Cambodian pack. All you need is a pack, just one. And any. I mean, you can use freaking Czech Republic First Division, right? All you need is a config file, that's all it needs. But with this, it's a little bit different than before, whereas with the logos, you're giving it the exact same code name as the club. And when it comes to the kits, it's just a slightly bit different when it comes to the naming of it. Now here we are back on the desktop. There's the kit I made earlier, you can see it. But right click it and rename it. Now you can name this anything you want, this can be anything you want. It's just got to match what you put in the config file. So we're going to call it Bood, but not in big letters. Honestly, Boodster, what are you doing? Bottom dash 1, right? That's what I do. Most of the graphics kit wise are called in the game. Now, if you had an away kit, I'd call that Bood bottom dash 2, and if you have a third kit, Bood bottom dash 3, and it's the same process, right? Look, I'd just copy these, I'd click here, I'd create myself some lovely space, there we go. So you know you've got your two lines with a nice bit of space, right click on that, paste it, and we've just copied this team. They haven't bottom dashed, you don't always have to bottom dash, but whatever you do, it's got to match. And then all you do is you change it, look. Bood bottom dash 1, don't need the 1. and there you go. And then see this bit here though, this is the one thing you have to do differently than the club logos, is you have the name of the kit, but you also need the team's ID so it can attach that kit to the team. So the same code that you've written down, the same code that you give the big logo and the small logo, is what you have to place there, right? So you change that as well. Right, there you go. Just a simple video showing you how I do it, and it's just a simple way. It's nothing fancy. I'm not trying to teach you anything elaborate, because I can't do elaborate, but I can do simple, and I think sometimes simple is good enough. If this is the first video you've ever seen and you're thinking, oh, it's great, I can make a nice logo and a kit. How do I make a club? Well, I've made a video on how to make a club, and I'll put a link to that down below, or you should find it on my previous videos. That's pretty simple, really. It is easy. Once you get doing it more and more, it gets easier. You start picking up extra things, and then it just becomes more. It becomes simpler. So hopefully that's helped some of you guys to find what you need, to get the ball rolling, to maybe get something like GIMP 2 that you didn't know existed, and be able to start doing some graphics for your game, or maybe even for, you know, if you want to start a YouTube channel and start doing Football Manager. You know what I mean? You don't have to have all the best gear. I've got a basic mic and a laptop. You don't need double screen, massive PCs with super amazing microphone and all the best software in the world to do a decent job. Seriously. So hopefully this video has helped you. If it has helped you, let me know. If you've got any questions, put them down below in the comments. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you check out my series. Thank you very much. I've been Bood, you've been great. I'll see you next time.